me. Hold on. Oh, fucking.
Hey guys, and welcome to episode 61 of Break Time. I'm Alex.
I'm Eman.
And thank you very much for tuning in to this very exciting episode of Break Time. I used to have more to say. I used to go to the Teespring store in the description and hey, we're gonna have timestamps at the bottom, but I stopped doing that.
Yeah, no more timestamps. No
Yeah.
more Teespring?
I mean, it's still there, but I don't want to be
you gotta plug it every time, though.
Yeah, I don't want to plug it every single time, because then just, if new people are watching the podcast ever, I don't want it to open up and be like, hey guys, you're brand new, buy my shit. You know what I mean?
I'm
not trying to be Logan Paul or anything, so.
No, well, we kind of are, but not the bad side.
That's true. That's true.
I want to get that fat bucks from YouTube.
But anyway, Eman, bro, how you doing? I want to get this part done fast, because I'm excited.
Cool, man. I want to find out why you're excited. I'm doing good, man. I'm just championing a lot of shit, putting a lot of shit on my shoulders right now, man. But
you got that wild ass party getting ready for too?
Yeah, man. Got that going on. Got some mild exhaustion going on.
Bitches.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this fucking party though, dude. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Got a lot of folks coming out. So yeah, that's where my mind is these days, dude.
Definitely.
Yeah,
man, I'm just working like always. Me and you went to go see Halloween the other day, the new 2018 Halloween movie. I'm excited about that. Probably going to talk about that a little later. But Jesus Christ, Eman, you okay?
I'm good, man.
You dying over there?
I wish I was.
Shut up. But Eman.
What's up?
Guys, if y'all aren't familiar, me and Eman have been working on this mission, championing this movement.
Yeah.
If you will,
about
making holidays great again.
Yeah.
So the whole month of October, we're doing kind of Halloween-themed episodes and whatnot. So I think it's this episode, the next episode is the last one for our Halloween run.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you very much. You've been watching those episodes. If not, why don't you go back, check them out and stuff. But one of the things we've been doing that I've been really excited about this Halloween season, we've been talking about killers, murderers, these weird ass people that live in our society that do crazy shit. But not only that, people that are local here to our hometown of San Antonio, Texas, where we stay. Address of the studio is no, I'm kidding. So
address to the studio, aka my house.
I know, right? So the first week we did Janine Williams, right? Janine Williams.
Yeah. And
that was the nurse who was killing...
Succinylcholine.
Yeah. That was killing some of her infant patients. You can look that one up. It's on our first episode of this. And then last week was The Alligator Man.
That was cool.
That was pretty dope. It's about a gentleman who would... I won't tell you too much. You can go back, check it out.
Do your fucking research.
But it's pretty dope. So I've got 2 this week.
Yeah.
I'm mad excited about Eman.
Yeah, man.
So I'm going to do the first...
I can't believe you got 2.
Yeah, bro. I'm going to do this first one that's kind of interesting. The second one is one that's really dope and really fucking just... Oh, man. Okay, so I'm going to do this first one, though.
Let's get it, man.
So...
Let's get into it.
You know what? Actually, my bitch ass, unprofessional ass didn't silence my phone.
Amateurs. Oh, you silenced my phone.
Yeah. Alrighty, so... I got 2 of them.
Already silenced? Okay.
For you guys today. Let me pull it up right now. All right, guys. So again, this is the portion. This is the portion of the podcast where we talk about murderers, killers from the San Antonio area. And this first one is Charles Harrelson. Charles Harrelson. Eman, are you familiar with Charles Harrelson at all? Okay.
Oh, my uncle?
Shut up. Charles Harrelson, right?
Yeah.
So, Charles Harrelson was born July 26th, 1938, and he died March 17th, 2007.
Say that one more time. When was he born?
July 23rd.
Okay.
I might have said 26th the first time because I'm dyslexic. July 23rd, 1938, and he died March 15th, 2007.
Okay.
Charles was an American organized crime figure who was convicted of the assassination of federal judge John H. Wood Jr., who's a judge here in San Antonio.
Okay.
John H. Wood Jr. was the first federal judge to have been killed in the 20th century. Alrighty. So, let me go to this, right? So he killed a few people, I'll read this. Okay. So before we get to the judge that he killed here in San Antonio, apparently it was like in a parking lot. Like he walked up, killed this guy.
Wow.
And, yeah. He was a hitman, essentially.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, he murdered another gentleman. I'm sorry, this section is just the murder of Alan Berg. Harrelson was tried on the 28th of May in 1968 for the murder of Alan Harry Berg. Alrighty, on September 22nd, 1970, he was acquitted by a jury in Angleton, Texas. The murder is chronicled in the memoir Run, Brother, Run by the victim's brother, David Berg. So, this was another man that he murdered. He got acquitted. Didn't serve any time.
Wow.
Just got out of it. Okay. Now, the murder... Oh, sorry, did I miss one? Oh, yeah. The murder of Sam DeGalia. So, Harrelson was tried in 1968 for another murder for hire for the killing of Sam DeGalia Jr., a resident of Hearne, Texas. All this shit happened, like, in our vicinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Harrelson was paid... what is that? $2,000? What the fuck? Is that right?
I mean, this is back in the day, bro.
Yeah, he was paid $2,000.
Back in the day.
Which is, it says it here, which is equivalent to $14,000 today.
Wow.
For the murder of DeGalia, a grain dealer and father of four who was killed in McAllen, Texas. His first trial ended with a deadlocked jury. He was also tried in this case. There was another gentleman who was found guilty for murder. Let me see. But he was out on parole at the time. Okay, so again, shortly after Harrelson, for the murder of Sam DeGalia, shortly after his parole in 1978, him and his wife, Joanne, were implicated in the murder of Judge John H. Wood Jr., which is the one he killed here in San Antonio, which is the one he went away for.
Okay.
For good. So U.S. District Judge John H. Wood Jr. was shot dead in the parking lot outside of his San Antonio, Texas townhouse.
Wow.
Harrelson was convicted of killing Judge Wood after being hired by drug dealer Jamil Charga of El Paso. Wood, nicknamed Maximum John because of his reputation for handling 2 long sentences for drug offenses, was originally scheduled to have Changra appear before him on the day of this murder, but the trial had been delayed. So check this shit out, right? Here's this shit was crazy to me. So Harrelson was sentenced to 2 life terms.
Okay.
Because of that. And then I'm trying to see. Okay. In September 1980, Harrelson surrendered to police after a 6-hour standoff.
Wow.
In which he was reportedly high on cocaine. During the standoff, he threatened suicide, stating that he had killed both Judge Wood and President John F. Kennedy. So this
interesting.
This section is under allegations of involvement of the Kennedy assassination.
Why have you not heard of this before? And this is local. This
is local, very local.
Again, he was high on cocaine, delusional as shit.
Exactly. So from what I read here, it said that he said that under duress because he was hoping, because he was in a standoff. Yeah. He was hoping that if he said it, the FBI would be like, "Ooh, don't kill this guy." Right. Yeah. So, and he said that later. He said, "I was high. That was something I said so that I wouldn't get killed." And even the FBI looked into it, and because allegedly he was telling people like, "Hey, here's exactly where I hid." Because where was the assassination? In Houston.
Dallas,
sorry, getting me.
So that's so confidently.
I know.
Yeah.
Dallas, which is here in Texas, which is the area that he was operating. So that was they kind of threw that by the wayside. They're like, I don't think anything happened, right?
Yeah.
So at one point, while he was in prison for the murder of the judge, again from here in San Antonio, Harrelson tried to escape prison.
This guy has
quite a record, right? Quite like a
ambitious individual he is, man. If he had some good parents, he might have been president.
Check it out though. On July 4th, 1995, Harrelson and 2 other inmates, Gary Settle and Michael Rivers, attempted to escape from the Atlanta Federal Penitentiary using a makeshift rope. So they saw a movie and went, "Oh, this shit works," and that's what they did, bro.
Oh, this shit works. And it worked.
No, it didn't.
Oh, fuck.
From the prisoners' tower, because they have those towers where they just putting lights around. They fucking got spotted.
Oh,
the guards in the prisoner tower shot at them. They did a warning shot and went like, "Get the fuck back up there," and they did.
All right, bro, down.
Yeah. So the trio surrendered, and Harrelson was transferred to a supermax prison in Florence, Colorado.
Fuck.
Yeah, bro. So in a letter to a friend, Harrelson wrote that he enjoyed his life inside the maximum security facility, writing that, quote, "There are not enough hours in the day for my needs. As a matter of fact, the silence here is wonderful."
Oh, God.
So in 2007, he was found unresponsive in his cell. He died from a heart attack, and an autopsy showed that he had severe coronary artery disease.
Wow.
So he just had a heart attack in prison
Went
after
peacefully.
being there.
Well, maybe not. He had a heart attack.
Yeah, but
compared to his resume, that's pretty peaceful.
but that shit's crazy, right? Like
pretty insane.
Yeah, and that's not even the crazy. That's not the crazy one that I want to show.
Yeah.
You. So
get your ass back in there,
bro. Let me show you this guy though.
Yeah, let me see a picture. I need to...
There's this guy.
Ah, good looking fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why he's good looking though?
Why?
So Charles Harrelson, again, the reason I brought this up happened here in San Antonio. He killed a judge here.
Yeah.
But he has a very interesting relationship with someone that I thought was really interesting. Someone famous.
Okay.
He is the estranged father of Woody Harrelson. Yeah. And he even kind of looks like Woody Harrelson. Like, if you kind of look at it, you can kind of see, like, that little...
Now, give me one diggity doggone second.
Yeah, look, while you're looking that up, though, let me read you this. So, Harrelson's son, Woody Harrelson, born July 23rd, 1961...
Oh, my God!
What?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
You see it?
I blanked on who Woody Harrelson was.
Yeah, bro, look. You got it?
Yeah.
Look. So, but you saw...
Oh, side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you pull up Woody Harrelson... You can totally see that. I can, especially in the mouth.
The nose, the mouth especially.
Yeah, the mouth, you can totally see it.
And even the shape of the head.
Yeah, which is probably not the person he wants to be compared to the most.
I know. Fuck.
But, so, Harrelson's son, Woody Harrelson, born July 23rd, 1961, became a well-known television and film actor. According to Woody, his father disappeared from the family's home in Houston in 1968.
Yep.
That's why I said Houston earlier, because I remember Houston was some kind of important to the story. In 1968, leaving his wife Diane to raise Woody and his two brothers alone. Woody lost track of his father until 1981 when the news broke of Harrelson's arrest for the murder of Judge Wood.
Mm-hmm.
So he got in contact with him right after that investigation.
Bless you.
Thank you. During an interview in November 1988, Woody revealed that he visited his father regularly in the federal prison, though he still harbored mixed feelings for him.
Why am I laughing?
Saying, look, this is what Woody Harrelson said about his father. "My father is one of the most articulate, well-read, charming people I have ever known. Still, I'm just now gauging whether he merits my loyalty or friendship. I look at him as someone who could be a friend more than someone who was my father."
You know who else can be described as very articulate and well-mannered and charming? Sociopaths.
Yeah.
He's a fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
Don't fall for it, Woody. Don't fall for it.
Okay, bro.
He's dead now, so.
So that was the first one, right? So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that? Just
interesting. Definitely complex, very convoluted, but interesting to say the least, man. That's cool that Woody Harrelson was involved. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard when you see these actors in Hollywood to think that they come from such a life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or just it's hard to think of that, like, they have family that are doing shit that's so drastic.
It's fucking
let alone like the crime that some of them might be involved in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, this is your life now. You know what I mean? And this is this is your dad. Like, fuck, where's the discrepancy? What happened?
So, bro, here's the crazy one.
I'm excited, man. You better be crazy. You really
So,
put this one up. Don't pull up Venom on me.
I think it's crazy, bro. They're just two big goo monsters. No, I'm kidding. So,
big goo monsters.
Adi Sanchez.
Okay. Why did that name sound familiar?
Audie Sanchez. That's what we're
That
talking
name sounds
about.
like every Northside lunch lady.
Now, okay,
to
so
ever exist.
let me see if I can find the other part to it here. So I listened to a lot about this one.
Okay.
So Audie Sanchez, she was born and she grew up in a family as an only child, but she lived in a home with like 7 relatives. And at the age of 5, she started telling people that she was hearing voices in her head. And sometimes they were good voices, but majority of the time they were good voices and weren't bad voices, right? So in her younger years, she grew up kind of having those voices in her head, but it was nothing that couldn't be dealt with. You know, she still lived a regular life, got through schooling, you know, all that good stuff. Later on in life, she met another gentleman. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I apologize. Who was schizophrenic. So another person with some mental issues,
disabilities.
And they got together, and they ended up having a kid. Okay, so she had this kid, and after a few weeks of the kid having a life, she started getting worried. She like had these weird like schizophrenic episodes where she thought that somebody was trying to steal her baby, like take her baby away from her.
Yeah.
So she was kind of like really like irrational about shit, and then she would try to go get help because you know she was worried about it. And then when they would ask her like
help for her illness or help for the fact that someone
help for her
steal
illness.
Okay.
She was kind of feeling like, I think this is me, but I feel like someone's trying to steal my baby.
Wow, that's
and
tough, man.
and this and that. So but they would ask her like, do you feel like you're an unfit mother? Realistically, what else is she gonna say if she's already worried someone's gonna take her baby? She's like, yeah, no, I'm a great mother. I'm everything's fine, right? So one day she goes and she goes to pick up the baby from her boyfriend's home. And I guess the boyfriend and his mother are home, and she like starts having this freak out.
Yeah.
Where she's like, you're just trying to steal my baby, and you're trying to take it away from me.
Right.
And I just want my son, and I'm gonna take my son, and I'm leaving. I'm going, right? She takes her son, and the son is sleeping in the crib and all that, right? And she hears a voice in her head that tells her that there's a demon inside of her, and that the only way to get rid of it and for her to be able to get the demons, I guess it was inside of her and the son, and the only way to get the demon out was to pull it out of the son.
Oh, this is gonna be graphic as all get out.
So Audie got a kitchen knife.
Oh my god.
Like one of those big like kitchen knives, went to the baby and stabbed him to death and killed the baby. She then mutilated his body. She chopped off his head.
How old was the baby?
3 weeks.
This is the one that you were excited for?
This is the one, not that I was excited for, but I was
No,
like, this
don't.
is... No. I told you I was excited about it because it's so...
Alex Chavez back with his sociopathic tendencies, baby.
Because it's so deranged. And it's like the other one, there's some... You know, the other one, the Charles Harrelson one, there's a little bit of like...
What the fuck?
Well, because that one, there's a little bit of like, oh, I got paid to do these terrible things.
Right, yeah. Business.
And he was walking up to people, shooting them and leaving.
Right.
Like that was it. Like it was a business
Cool
transaction
mafia type shit.
Yeah, and
Right.
then this is like like there's no. To me, it's one of the reasons I find things like Michael Myers very interesting.
Yeah.
Because there's no like motive really. It's just like this person's fucking batshit.
Right.
And so that's why I was excited about it, because I like those weird things where they're just. I mean, no one likes the murder part of it, but it's just more interesting to dive into when you're talking about it. So whatever. Eman's gonna try to paint me as a psychopath.
You're doing it to yourself, not
whatever.
me.
Whatever. So the next thing that happened. No. So but she cut the baby's head off.
Fuck, dude.
And she started eating his brain.
Wow, man.
And she was throwing it back up and then continued to try to eat the brain of this baby.
This is local, huh?
This is local. Happened here from what I read. So, yeah, because I was listening to news excerpts from it, and Randy Beamer was on the... You know who Randy Beamer is, right? The news guy?
No.
Oh, well, if you've listened to any San Antonio news, he's very synonymous with San Antonio. He's been here for years. So, like, I was like, oh, shit, this did happen here, because that was...
Yeah,
you know,
that's how you know.
So
fuck, man.
And so her sister gets to the house and finds out what she did, and there's a phone call that you can go if you like find it on YouTube or whatever, where you can hear Audie in the background going, "He made me do it. He made me do it. He made me do it." And she was telling police and everyone that the devil was in her head and told her that she had to kill her son to get the demons out. So her whole thing was that the devil made her commit this crime.
Of course, she's schizophrenic. That sounds
So,
very parallel to schizophrenia.
This murder happened July 26th, 2009. Wow. So this is pretty recent. So her son was Scott Wesley Buchholz Sanchez. I think that's how you pronounce that. And it was here in San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm. You know what, man? I can't say shit because my first case was fucking some bitch killing babies, too.
This is definitely more graphic.
No,
even though it's one baby, it's like...
It is. Oh, that's fucked up, dude. Oh, my God.
Okay, bro. So she had told authorities that the devil made her mutilate and dismember her newborn. And it went to trial, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Right.
In a deal that sent her to a state mental institution rather than face a trial and possible prison sentence.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see this next part.
Now, how long was she institutionalized for?
Hold up, let me see right here. This was District Attorney Susan Reed.
Mm-hmm.
She said this was probably one of the most horrendous cases that we have seen as far as a murder of a child. She will be committed until the court decides she is no longer a danger to herself or to anyone else. Reed said that she was horrified by what Sanchez did, but also disturbed by the fact that she had sought treatment like a few weeks before the killing. So she was trying to get help.
Yeah.
So, hold up. But also she was disturbed with the fact that she had sought treatment before killing her son and did not receive the care that she needed.
Wow.
Quote, a lot of people are okay when they are taking their medications, but once they stop taking them, they are a danger again.
Yeah.
Sanchez periodically sought treatment for mental illness before her son was born and even spent a few hours in an emergency room after the birth because she was hearing voices less than a week before the attack. Defense attorney Ed Camara said that she had been prescribed the antidepressant citalopram after giving birth, but had only taken it the day before killing her son. The drugs do not take effect for a few weeks. So I don't know if you know anyone who's on any antidepressants or any type of medication like that. I do, and it's like it's one of those things like they get prescribed a medicine.
It's trial and error.
Yeah, well, not even that. It's like let's say you're sick, right? You know, you go to the doctor today, and he's like, "Oh, start taking this antibiotic. If you have any side effects or if it works, we'll know after a couple days, and then come back next week." And if it's working, great. If it's not working, we'll try something different.
Yeah.
For antidepressants, it's like, hey, you're going to take this for 2 weeks. It'll start working on the 3rd. And then 2 weeks later, you come see me again. So it's like, hey, in a month and a half, like, we'll come back, see if it worked at all.
Yeah,
so
man,
like,
I was prescribed that shit, dude.
The wait time is just so much fucking...
It's wait, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
It's dangerous shit, man, because the side effects of this shit is super, super intense, you know what I mean? I mean, there are cases where they prescribe you some shit and they say, all right, come back in a month. A lot of times, motherfuckers don't come back in a month because the drug will make you kill yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's dangerous shit, dude.
So, here it says an estimated 1,000 women are afflicted with how do you say this?
Postmenopause.
Postpartum psychosis. Yeah. The women with the diagnosis can suffer dangerous delusions and desires to hurt their children. Unlike how do you say it again?
Postpartum?
Unlike postpartum depression, which occurs in as many as 1 in 5 new mothers. So, and I believe, let me see. Oh, hold up, this was interesting. Sanchez was charged with capital murder and was found competent to stand trial, but Reed said after 3 examinations by separate doctors determined that she was legally insane when she killed her son, and that she wasn't able to, efficiently be in court and all that.
Yeah.
There was one more thing that I was trying to find. I think it said, if she was still... Let me see this. Oh, okay, here we go. Sanchez was found not guilty by reason of insanity and confined to a maximum security mental facility. And as far as what I could find, she's still there today. As far as what I can find. But that shit's nuts.
That really stressed me out.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Both those are really fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah.
Especially, obviously the first one seemed more like a business thing where, this is a gangster killing people.
Right.
That happens to be related to Woody Allen.
That's funny, the Woody Allen thing.
Not Woody Allen. Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And then the other one is just like that's just a
gruesome
fucked up person.
Yeah. Dark.
Definitely.
Grungy. Nothing pretty about that shit, man.
Not at all.
Fuck, dude.
It's like, where do you go from that?
Home.
That's the podcast. No.
That's the episode 61, guys. It's been a pleasure. But that's scary as fuck, dude. Every time we talk about mental illness, I always say how scary it is, dude.
Because it can happen to anyone.
Yeah,
it's not
man. You don't fuck with the brain like that, dude.
Yeah.
You see, her reality was altered, man, because of a fucking mental illness that she couldn't control. You know what I'm saying? She didn't take a drug. She didn't hit her head. She was just born with that shit, and it was in her genetic makeup. The weird part is, for schizophrenia in particular, the symptoms don't hit till your early 20s, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you could be cooling, just chilling, living life. Life is fucking great. Wake up one morning at the age of 23, hearing little voices and shit.
Yeah.
It gets worse and worse and
that's
worse.
That's what Bob here is always telling me. Probably the worst time to make a joke.
Yeah, I know, right? But, it's fucking insane, dude. No pun intended.
Damn.
Yeah.
Look at all these jokes rolling. I'm kidding.
I know, right? It's on the roll.
God, so...
What's up, man?
No, I'm just trying to figure out how to transition out of that shit.
No segues. Fucking segues. Halloween, baby.
All right. Well, speaking of Halloween...
Yeah.
Speaking of psychotic... you know what? Who cares if I offend anybody? It's a podcast. Whatever. Speaking of psychotic-ass people that kill people with big-ass steak knives...
Yeah, you crazy bitch.
Eman, you and I had the pleasure of going out and seeing the brand new 2018 Halloween film... this past weekend. Mm-hmm. So we saw that. I'm really interested to kind of talk about it a bit because I love all the Halloween films. I don't love them all, but I've seen all of them. I'm a fan of the Halloween franchise. You're like kind of...
I'm as casual as they come.
Yeah, you've seen the first one, haven't you?
Yeah, because of you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So Iman's seen the first Halloween film, and yeah. So we saw this Saturday, or no, it was Friday, right? Friday evening?
2 days ago, so what's today? Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, Friday evening. So we saw it Friday evening. I guess that's considered like the main opening day, even though it opens Thursday. Mm-hmm. So the opening Friday of the film, we went to go see it. And I've been really excited for the Halloween film to come out.
Yeah.
There was, for me, and I remember I said it on a couple of podcasts ago, my most anticipated movies this year, I think after the Avengers, I said, was Venom and the new Halloween film.
Yeah.
And I saw Venom, and Venom is very good, very, very okay. Mm-hmm. Very, like, that's a passable movie. I liked it because I'm a fan of it, but I understand it's not, like, an amazing film.
Yeah.
I think you kind of felt similar about it, right? Like,
very similar.
Okay.
It was very, very okay.
Yeah, I get you. It's kind of one of those movies where you're like, that was the second movie I bought at this drive-in. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I went for that on Redbox.
So
Tom Hardy was dope.
What was that?
Tom Hardy was amazing.
Tom Hardy's dope in anything he does, though.
Exactly. So I told my girlfriend, look, man, if Tom Hardy wasn't leading this movie, it might be dog shit.
Yeah.
It might be dog shit.
It seemed like he was having fun. Like, he gave a shit about what he was doing.
It was just fun.
Yeah. But Eman, so I'm interested. What were your kind of, before we get to the movie itself, what were your kind of views on the Halloween franchise and all that? I know you're casual, but like, kind of, what was the thing that came to your head whenever I talked about that?
Whenever you talked about it?
Like, yeah, like the Halloween franchise.
Honestly, like, okay, so Halloween is marketed as a scary movie, which I think is a mistake, because Halloween, to me personally, just does not scare me. I'm not scared of Michael Myers. What is it? Michael Myers. Yeah. He's a fucking human. He has weaknesses. Me being a dude, naturally, I'm sizing motherfuckers up, right? I see a threat, I size him up. I say, okay, I can't take him hand to hand, but look, I can run the motherfucker over. Like, what really scares me is paranormal shit.
Yeah.
I watched a scary movie, man, Hereditary. That shit scares me. You know what I'm saying? So I think if this movie was marketed as a thriller, I'd be way more behind it. I'd be way more into it because it's way more of a thriller. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of disappointing when you go into a scary movie and you don't leave scared, right?
Yeah.
So other than that, I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a good movie. I think it's a fun franchise, and I think he's a dope ass character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just doesn't scare me, so that's why I never really was interested in it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So at the end of it, kind of your takeaway from the movie is that it's fun.
It's fun.
It's a fun movie.
It's fun. Just go watch it.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
It's monumental.
I think, with them, because there was the first Halloween movie, and then there's like 8 or 9 sequels, right? Mm-hmm. And then they completely went like, hey, we're getting rid of all these sequels. We're only talking about the first film, and then this one. This one takes place right after, 40 years later.
Yeah.
But and I was sitting on it, because I remember, and I'll just say what I thought about it. We'll tell people if we recommend it or not. And then I do want to talk spoilers a little bit.
Okay.
But
hey man, keep going, dude. I just realized I haven't eaten all day, dude. I'm fucking about to pass out.
Oh, you're good,
get a
bro.
Banana. I'll be right back. All right.
You're good. So Eman's already heard this. It's you guys then. But so I think it's really great being someone who really likes the Halloween movies and really liking the first one, as well as the second one. But obviously this one only takes place after the first one. But being someone who really likes those movies, this one was really, really fun. Very, I guess, like Eman said, it's not necessarily scary, like jumping out of my seat, or like I'm freaking out or yelling or anything. But it's more of a thriller. It's more suspenseful. There's a lot of scenes in it where you're kind of like, oh, where's this guy at, or what's going on here? And it's more of again, a suspense, a thriller thing, which I think you agreed with as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely more on that, like, almost like eerie kind of thing. Like, you're like, shit, what's going on here? Like, when's he gonna pop up? It's not like oh, fuck, like, what's going on? But I dug it. I think it's good. I would definitely recommend seeing it if you're a fan of Halloween, or I think even if you're not, it's just a good film to go see to kind of get you into that Halloween spirit. Again, not like jump out of your seat scary, but definitely like oh shit, what's going on? What's going to happen?
Right, yeah.
Where's he gonna be?
Just a fun thriller to put you in a Halloween-esque mood.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, guys, next we're going to talk about some spoilers from the movie. So if you haven't seen the new Halloween film, thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Break Time. Eman doesn't have anything he wants to say to you guys, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, well, that's the ending for everyone who doesn't want to watch the rest of it.
Oh!
Whoever doesn't want to get spoiled and shit. Eman, what are some things that you liked and disliked about the movie? Like going a little more in depth and all that.
All right, so again, what I liked about the movie is the character, right? Mm-hmm. They did an almost perfect job of displaying his invincibility. Mm-hmm. That's the part that makes this character so scary. It's just how invincible he is, right?
Mm-hmm. Is it invincible, or is it that like he goes no matter what?
I think you can call it invincible.
Because I think he was still getting hurt.
Right. That's why I say almost perfect. You know what I mean?
I get you.
It was right there. It's like, this motherfucker is damn near invincible.
So would you be more scared of him if he was like straight up like a zombie, like invincible? Like,
well, of course, yeah, because there's no weakness to it. There's no way to win. That's why I'm so scared of like demons and shit like that. Those kind of movies, because there's absolutely that's real invincibility. You know what I mean? Unless you got some dope priest. But I mean,
yeah.
As me as a person, as Eman, there's nothing I can do in that situation.
Yeah.
But in this situation, if Eman's packing heat, Eman's gonna be the victor of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I just put a well placed bullet where it needs to go, I'm good.
Which is funny because I'm the opposite. I'm like, I don't want him to be unstoppable or invincible, because for me that like that's not as scary, because like let's say like Michael Myers is a zombie, right? And then we blow him up, we shoot at him, we set him on fire, he's fine, he walks away. That's kind of like for a minute that might be like, oh shit, we can't stop this thing. But for me, that really fucking messes with my suspension of disbelief. And it's hard for me to put myself in that situation and be like, oh man, what if this guy was unstoppable? It's a lot easier for me to watch a movie like this one where there's a part where he's just walking away from a murder that he did, and the police are right on him, and they're like, "Bro, hey, stop!" And then Laurie's character ends up seeing him and firing at him, and she you see all this fucking blood just pop out of his shoulder because she hits him. He doesn't fucking flinch. He keeps walking, and I'm like, but you can tell he got hurt. So I'm like, fuck, this guy's like a regular dude, like a dude I'm going to see walking on the side of the street.
His will to kill is
exactly.
that strong.
That's scarier to me, that his will is so strong that his humanity has taken a back seat. Yeah. Because he's like, I'm going to keep fucking going. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not looking for like a ghoul or a goblin. I know you used the example of a zombie. I wouldn't want that. It's just... So I understand that part, and that's what I like about it. It's just they displayed his weaknesses too much in this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think there's a scene in particular that...
Right, and so you said what I liked and disliked about it. So what I disliked is just how much they displayed his weaknesses. Like, we know at the end of the day he's human. We know at the end of the day it's he has those weaknesses, but still, don't give me a fucking game plan to defeat this guy. Because if I have a game plan, which this movie showed you kind of how he could be killed, then I'm not gonna walk away as scared. You know what I'm saying? So,
or at least don't put him in situations where that happens.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because there's there are conveniences to movies, and if you're trying to perpetuate a certain aesthetic or a certain feel for a character, just don't put him into a situation where his weaknesses are going to be highlighted. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, for example, right, there's a part in the film where Michael Myers like going through like backyards and shit, and he's walking through houses and shit. Yeah. And to kind of skip ahead, there's a part of the movie where he's down, like where he's like down for the count. Like the sheriff and the doctor are in this car looking for him, and the sheriff just fucking hits Michael with the car. And he's down, and he walks...
That's dumb as shit.
He walks up to Michael with the gun, and he's like, I'm going to blow his head off. If that would happen, the movie would have been done. Yeah. But the thing was that earlier in the film, he was going through backyards, walking through houses, so they weren't putting him in a situation where a car could easily be introduced there to run him over.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then in the next scene, he's just walking on the sidewalk, like down the road.
Like, what the fuck? Was that a guy in a costume?
Yeah, like I was like, why? That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, because there's
a trick or treats Halloween.
Yeah, there's a scene in the second Halloween movie where there's someone who's dressed up like Michael Myers, and he's walking across the street. And they're like, oh, there he is. And then he freaks out and he runs away, and this car hits him and kills him. So in the second Halloween movie, in the original second Halloween movie, they're like, oh, Michael Myers is dead. We just killed him. But he's somewhere else fucking up people. Right. But they think they killed him because they're like, oh, it's Halloween. We accidentally killed this dude. So I genuinely thought when that happened, they were going to get out of that car. Yeah. And go like, oh, this is him. Shit. And then some guy was going to be underneath it going like, oh, why'd you hit me with the car? Like, I thought that's what was going to happen.
Oh, shit, y'all. We got some explaining to do.
Yeah. I thought that's what the route they were going. And I would have really liked that. It would have been interesting. Kind of like homage. Well, not only paying homage, it's like one of those things where what I really like about that tactic, if they would have done it, is like, fuck, they can't just go after people. Because he could be anybody. Because it's on Halloween and he's dressed up as a scary big dude. Yeah. Like, you know, and I feel like they could have played...
It's a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, and I feel like they could have played with that more, but they didn't. So what happened is they hit Michael with the car. And again, it's just they're putting him in that situation where he's open to that, which I don't like. And then they hit him with the car, and the doctor comes out with the sheriff. And the sheriff's like, oh, we're going to kill him. And the doctor's like, no, we can't. And then the doctor pulls a knife out, kills the sheriff. And then you're like, what the fuck is happening here? And then the doctor's like, because the doctor was like obsessed with Michael Myers, right? He's like, oh, well, this is my patient and everything. And he was there when Michael Myers escaped in this film. And then like he takes Michael Myers' mask and he puts it on himself. And then he gets up. And there's a split second in the movie where my heart sank. Yeah. Because what happened is right after they got out of the car, he was doing it to fuck with the sheriff, but he goes up to Michael and he goes, you killed him. And the sheriff's like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to put a hole in him anyway just to make sure he's dead.
Right.
But so then
the only smart person in the movie, huh?
Yeah. So then when he puts his mask on, I'm still under the assumption that Michael's dead. And I'm like, did we just kill Michael Myers and this guy's going to be the killer for the rest of the movie? Yeah. I was livid. I was like, this is bullshit. Yeah. If that would have happened, Eman, like if that would have continued, I probably would have gotten up and left that movie. No, man. I think I would have, bro, because I fucking hate you. No, that's the whole fucking franchise.
If there's a movie that's bad enough that you got to walk out, dude, we walk out in unison, bro. I couldn't guarantee that I would have left that movie.
Fuck, I would have left. Well, it's like imagine going into Creed, right? Like you love Creed. You know, you're going into Creed 2, halfway through the movie, they kill him. Like Rocky turns around, stabs him in the neck, and he's dead. And then some other dude becomes Creed for the rest of the movie. You fucking leave, Eman. You be
and at least make the guy that's supposed to be the new Michael Myers for that split second. At least make him more menacing.
Yeah, he was a little fat round dude.
This dude was a fucking dweebazoid, bro.
Anyway,
but real quick, man, that's one of those things too that I was talking about where they displayed his weakness too much. They just fucking hit him with a car and he was out for a good bit. And it was the lamest shit. Like, I think there's an effect, right, where movies like that, like scary movies that don't involve paranormal activity, you gotta have like the Kane effect. Mm-hmm. Back in the day in WWE, there was a wrestler called Kane. Now Kane was like 6'9", and his brother was the Undertaker. They were both really like evil dudes, but the Undertaker was the good guy, and Kane is what they called the Animal. Because the story is that the Undertaker was playing with matches when they were young and burnt the house down while his brother Kane was still inside. So they both grow up and become wrestlers, and Kane is just this insane, giant, yoked up, fucking wears a mask, burnt up face underneath it. Animal. He's an animal, and you never see his humanness. You know what I'm saying? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think, is the only movie thus far that's really done that and not shown the humanness of this human character, right? Mm-hmm. And made it still scary. Like, you never really saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre hurt in the movie, except for when he got his fucking leg chopped off, but he kept going. Like, yeah. And don't reveal the humanness.
Yeah,
like,
and in this one, they do shit like that, like where he gets shot. Like, there's a part where, towards the end, where, because Michael Myers isn't dead, he comes, mm-hmm. he wakes up, but there's a part where Laurie shoots Michael in the hand, and he loses, like, 3 fingers. Mm-hmm. And you see him like walking around bleeding, but he's going. Mm-hmm. Like, he's still going. And you're like, that I feel like would have been cool. I feel like what would have been better for that scene is if they would have hit Michael Myers with the car. Hit Michael Myers with the car, right? He falls down. The sheriff gets out, and immediately he just gets up. Like
maybe he even stumbles up a little bit.
Yeah, but that would have
shakes it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that would have shown that the reason he was out really walking and he didn't care was because if he got hit by a car, he was gonna brush it off. He was like, oh, I got hit. Cool. He was like, fuck. Time to keep going. It's like a mosquito bite almost.
It's like fucking like you. Okay, at the end of the day, we know. Like, back to the Texas, we know he's a human, right? But if they showed a scene in the movie where you walk in and you see Texas Chainsaw Massacre beating his dick for whatever reason.
Leatherface, by the way.
Leatherface beating his dick for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's a dude. Maybe he has to beat his dick, but leave it out of the movie for the sake of it being scary.
Yeah.
Leave the human aspect out of the movie.
The part that really fucked that up for me is the doctor hits him, puts on the mask for a little bit, drags Michael Myers to the car, mm-hmm. throws him in the car, then takes off his mask, throws it next to him, and then he drives away. And the whole point that he's doing is he's like, oh, I'm going to go put Michael Myers with Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take him to her because she was the victim that got away. And I want to see how Michael reacts since he's no longer in the hospital. This is the uncontrolled environment. Like, he's running an experiment. Uh-huh. But the biggest problem for me from someone who wanted to be scared by Michael Myers, it made me kind of think like, man, Michael Myers is a punk. He just he got hit by a car and this little ass fat dude threw him in the back of a car. And that's what's going on.
That was so stupid.
Not only that, well, I mean, I guess
Michael made him look like a bitch.
Yeah, but then Michael Myers, I guess, wakes back up, completely destroys this doctor guy, fucks him up.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But I didn't like I don't like that it really hurts the integrity of how scary that character is, because I feel like it showed weakness, mm-hmm. and it made him not as scary.
Yeah.
But 2, from a story perspective, fuck you. That came out of nowhere. That was not. It was not alluded to that maybe the doctor was evil a little bit. It was not. It was not like hinted at. It wasn't like, oh, everything makes sense now. Because most twists in a movie they happen, and the reason they're a great twist is because you're like, oh, that makes sense because earlier, full circle. All this did was it drew half the circle, and you were like, what? And then Michael Myers kills him like 5 minutes later, mm-hmm. and then it erases that half of the circle. So it's almost like that didn't even need to be in there. Like, that scene could have not been in the movie.
And it wouldn't have made a dent.
Wouldn't have been the only thing that would have. I think the only reason that they put that in there was so they could have a reason why Michael Myers got to Laurie Strode's house.
Yeah.
But And
There's
the granddaughter,
so many ways you could
but
have
and the
done
granddaughter,
that.
because she wasn't there either. But all that could have happened was the granddaughter runs away from Michael Myers, runs to her grandma's house.
Yeah, we
That's-
could.
that could have been it.
Yeah, exactly.
Could have been it, and then he was after her the whole
Ooh,
time.
This is how
That's it, bro.
Dr. Augustus, Eman Augustus. Look, the director fucked up. We know you used to shoot some movies back in the day with your buddy. Look, can you come in and shoot this scene for us again? I said, all right. This is what I'm doing. Okay. They're walking. Michael Myers is walking down the sidewalk. Wouldn't change that. They come up. Boom. They hit his ass still. They're like, oh shit, we got him. All right, you stay there. We're gonna make sure he's really out. They fucking get out. They're like, oh shit, they're standing over him. Boom! He grabs their fucking ankle or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he just yokes him up and fucks him up.
Yeah.
Then she takes off running, like she has to break down the back of the paddy wagon she's in to make more suspense. Like, oh, she might not escape.
Yeah.
Barely gets out of the window, takes off running. Now he's after her, and now we're going to grandma's house.
She's
and now
running
he's
to grandma's
got a
house.
bitch.
She knows that's the safe place.
Right.
And then he just chases her the whole fucking way.
Right.
And then she keeps like, because that's a long way to run, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. So she's like, she's running out of breath. She's freaking out. She's like,
you could have made a whole new sequence out of that shit.
Yeah, but see, even that would have been better because it would have made sense because it would have, because right before they're having this great conversation. That was the other thing that really fucking killed me about that scene. And I know we're harping on this one scene, but it really fucks up the movie. I think
it was tough
for me.
It was tough.
Like the whole end part that happened, I was so stuck on this scene. Mm-hmm. It took me out of it. Like I was like, fuck, really? Anyway.
Real quick, man. Real quick.
Go ahead.
There's only one resolve, dude. We got to get the fucking director's cut when this DVD comes out.
To see Andrew Schultz in it?
No, we got to get the director's commentary, I mean.
I see what you mean.
See what the fuck the mindset was behind that scene,
but
dude.
see, here's my thing, right?
Yeah.
It messed up how we perceive Michael Myers.
Right.
And then it added this weird story element that didn't make any fucking sense. Like, nobody cares about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And... like it didn't make a dent in the movie. It just really it halted everything else that was going on to make this weird story thing happen that was so forced. But bro, right before that scene, like I was saying, the sheriff is in the car with the doctor and they're talking, right? And the doctor says something like, "Wow, well, I wonder if because Laurie Strode's the one that got away, if Michael like is linked to her." Or like he's like wants to finish what he started.
Right.
And then that bullshit happens, right? It would have made so much sense if he killed both of them. And then the reason he didn't let her leave or just go like, oh, she's getting away is because he wasn't going to let the same thing happen. He went, I need to kill her now. Because that would have made sense with what the doctor was saying.
Yeah.
And that just, and then it would have brought him to Laurie Strode.
Okay.
Like, I feel like as a character and as all the things they were trying to set up about why Michael is, propelled to kill people.
Yeah.
That would have made so much sense.
Yeah.
Like in Michael's, I mean, I know that's kind of adding a little bit, like as far as like giving him motivation, but that would make sense. Like, oh, I can't let someone else get away, and he just goes after her. Mm-hmm. So he's focused. He's like, this is the person I have to kill now. Mm-hmm. Which leads him to Laurie Strode, which is like even more like I have to kill both these people.
Yeah, because
they're the people that got away.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes all the sense. And the thing that pisses me off is they had how many years to make a movie, and me and you saw this movie and had 2 days. And we've already rewrote that scene in a way that makes sense with everything else that they've built in that movie, but in a way that doesn't fuck up the characters and the story.
Sitting in a bedroom completely enhanced that movie, brought it up a whole star, in my opinion. And these are professionals who get paid to do this shit for a living.
Yeah.
And that was some amateur shit, dude.
I really didn't like it. But I get, like, they were trying to add something new to that franchise. They were trying to, change it up a little bit or make that, like, a shock moment. But it did shock everybody. I think everybody in the theater was like, what the fuck? But not in a good way. I think everybody was in the theater like, what the fuck is this?
Right,
like, what's going on
that
here?
wasn't the what the fuck they were going for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were trying to do like, ooh, man, we got something new going on.
Yeah.
No, it was like, this is dumb new bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
They wanted a, what the fuck? But they got a, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got the same what the fuck. They got what the fuck, but just not in the tone and cadence that they wanted.
Right, don't misconstrue your what the fuck. It's a very important moment in the movie, all
yeah,
right?
like...
don't fuck up the what the fuck.
What's going on is the director and the producers are sitting in a room and they're like, guys, this is what the audience said during that part. It's just a bunch of what the fucks. And they're like, guys, we did it.
It's
we
magic,
did it.
baby.
We got it. And then they're like, here's the audio track. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Jude, we leaving. Jude.
It's huge, man.
Sugar mama, we go. I don't know why I made everybody be black in that situation. Or sound stereotypically black.
Nobody says what the fuck better than a black person, all right?
That's
Let's
true.
just say it.
But other than that, man, like, what do you think of like Jamie Lee Curtis and some of the other characters that were in the movie? Like, did you like those characters or?
I'm bad with names, dog.
Jamie Lee Curtis is the main character, the old
Okay.
lady, the one from the first movie that survived.
She was cheesy. Cheesy's all get out.
Really? You thought so?
She was cheesy. I wasn't buying the whole toughness thing.
Really?
I wasn't buying the whole toughness thing.
I dug it in a way that like it felt very almost like 80s or 90s where it's like, oh, this is like the tough dude with all the guns and shit, except it's her.
Exactly.
I bought it personally. I thought it was really interesting. I dug it, and then there were some parts where even though she's the tough character, there were a few parts where some of that emotion comes out where she's like, fuck, I'm gonna die, or like I'm over my head, or like I'm scared right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. What
about the daughter, or the granddaughter, the one who was like in that car with Michael when all the doctor bullshit happened?
I liked her a lot.
Really?
I liked her a lot.
I thought she was really good.
She was the most believable character in the movie.
Really?
IMO, yeah.
Okay. And what about Judy Greer, the one who was Laurie Strode's daughter?
Okay, she was fucking everything I hated about the grandmother, which I liked the grandmother, but the aspects of her that I didn't like, she embodied all that shit, bro.
Damn, just like not believable, just
fake.
fake.
Just really misquoted lines, poor time with what she was saying. Like,
Mom, the world isn't dark, it's filled with love and understanding.
I had to learn to fight. Right when she said that, I said, what the fuck is going on
here?
It showed her little scrawny ass hitting a punching bag. Like, no, your 1-2 right hook, but your 9 rounds Taibo kickboxing ain't gonna do shit. This guy got hit by a car and got up.
But she goes, when I was 8, I learned how to shoot a gun. One, the way she delivered that line was really fucking stupid. And two, if Laurie Strode, the grandmother, was all crazy and shit, I would think she would start teaching her daughter how to use a gun way before 5. Or way before 8. Like, probably like 5 years old. Like,
possibly. You know the issue that I had with that line was, dude, she's not menacing. Like, so you gotta fucking know what you're up against, right? Mm-hmm. If I know that I gotta fucking, if I'm gonna be put in an arena tomorrow with 2 fucking tigers, I'm not gonna say, oh, I think I'm all right, man. Look, I been hitting the heavy bag, been changing my diet, been hitting the cardio. You know, I think I'm all right. So
it's like the preparation that annoyed you a
it's like,
bit.
Bitch, you wasted your time. None of that shit matters. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and that's supposed to be the moment where we're like, oh, this bitch is tough. She's ready for war. But it's like, all that preparation was wasted. Bitch, go rent an SUV.
I don't think so necessarily, because there are parts where, because I think she was training her like to shoot Michael if he was far away, and then if he got close, because really in the first movie and in this movie, Michael can't do anything from afar. Mm-hmm. What he does is he gets up close to you, like sneaks up on you, and then he fucks you up. Mm-hmm. So I think she had to teach her to fight, because there were even a few parts at the end where Laurie and Michael are in the house fighting.
One of the moments I didn't like.
And really, okay, we'll get to that. But like there are parts where like she's like throwing elbows at him and kind of like just getting out of the bullshit that he's kind of trapping her into. So I think that made sense a little bit to me anyway. But you didn't like that ending house scene either? Oh, real quick, sorry, before I get to that though, the comedy. What'd you think of the comedy in the movie?
Oh, beautiful. It was
there's
so good.
A lot of comedy in this film.
It was so good.
Right?
It was so good.
I loved all the comedy. I don't think there was a scene where I feel like it mixed the thriller with comedy, like the suspense and comedy a whole lot, which is the one where the kid is drunk in the backyard and the lights are going on and off. I thought that was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think
that was so dope.
Every movie, right? Every horror movie should incorporate aspects of comedy. I think it works a lot better that way. Fuck. Because when you think about it, fucking voice contraction.
No, you're good.
When you think about it, man, really, you're not going to experience more emotion than you will in a scary movie, right? But in most scary movies, you're going to experience one emotion, which is what they want you to feel is terror for 2 hours.
Dread.
But no one's going to feel that one emotion for that long. Yeah. At a certain point, you become jaded. But when you have these perfectly timed comedic breaks, at a certain time, your emotion might be low from dread. Then you'll be high from a comedic break. Then you're relaxed, and then boom, we got you again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta time it.
And I feel like in this movie, for me, it so worked.
Hell yeah,
it worked. I've read a lot of reviews and seen a lot of reviews where a lot of people are bagging on the humor in this movie. Mm-hmm. But I fucking love the humor in this movie. What I really liked about it is there were parts of it where, you know, it's dreadful, it's terrible, we're killing people. But then like it skips to the cops. A lot of people are talking shit about the cops, and they were talking about their lunch and all that.
I could see how they would. When I was watching the scene, I was like, this is probably going to catch some heat, but I completely get what they're going for.
But yeah, for me, I was like, oh, it's like these cops don't know what's
sense.
going on. This is a regular dumb conversation.
Exactly, they're cops.
How often during the day? Well, not only that, but how often during the day are you having just a dumb fucking conversation that has no consequence on your life? It's just such a mundane, nothing conversation.
Yeah.
That if anyone just like took a camera and recorded at that point in your life, they'd be like, shut the fuck up.
And that's what
Eman.
I mean when I don't mean like cops are dumb. I mean cops, what they do, what a lot of cops do is just
boring.
Two boys, two homies sitting in a car chatting back and forth. At a certain point, you're gonna catch some funny ass dialogue, and I think they really capture that aspect of what a lot of the not so cool side of being a cop is. That's dumbass conversation they have.
Yeah,
about their
but for
fucking
me,
lunch.
it reminded me of just like you said, like you and your boy sitting somewhere.
Yeah,
like boring. You're forced to do your job. You're just like
slow day at the office.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, bro. What'd you bring for lunch, man?
Exactly.
Like, I brought a fucking brownie. It's like, dude, you're an idiot. That's what 5-year-olds eat if they could pack their own lunch.
It's funny,
but I love that.
We used to work in a fucking work truck separately, but we still used to work in a work truck. And these are the exact same conversations I was having.
Well, me and you, when we were selling together, we started doing that, and that's exactly what we would do. So
it makes sense.
To me, I really liked it. I dug the comedy. The dad, I kind of could have had a little less from him because I feel like some of his shit wasn't as funny as I think they thought it could be. Well, there's that beginning part where he's putting peanut butter on the mouse traps.
Think about the line. At least give him that line, all right?
Nah, man. I just if they're watching this, they've already seen the movie, hopefully.
But I want them to experience that joy of that line.
If they're watching it, they've seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we told them if they haven't seen the movie, we're gonna spoil it. Anyway, but there's a part at the beginning where he's doing the fucking mouse traps, and he goes, "Ah, man, I got peanut butter on my penis." And I laughed about it. I did laugh because it's a funny thing to say, like peanut butter on my penis.
Peanut butter on my penis.
It's his delivery.
That's alliteration.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where I was like, did we need that? Like, does that make sense in this world?
Look, watch this movie, dude.
Because it just seemed forced.
Yeah.
For me, that part seemed forced. Like, peanut butter on my penis.
He wasn't a character. He was a caricature.
I gotcha.
Every aspect of what a typical dad is was blown up.
That's
from
true.
the goofiness
That's
to
true.
the fucking dad jokes. It was a caricature.
Because there are even parts where when Lori comes in towards the end and she's like, "Hey, do you have a gun?" And he's like, "Get that gun out of my house. This is my family. I'm protecting my family. Like, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
So, but you know, I guess they did all right at his character because when he died at the end, I felt it. I went like, "Oh, I
really liked him.
I was like, not you, bro.
Sweet dude.
Yeah.
Real quick, I gotta say this.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna sound all salty and shit. This is my problem with media in 2018, bro. How men are portrayed. When you watch this movie, watch it subjectively, okay? Look at how they portray all the not one, not two, every male character that appears on screen is a fucking dingbat.
Yeah.
Is a fucking dingbat. With the exception
of the cop.
Yeah,
the main cop.
I'll spare you a couple, but for the majority of male characters on screen, they were all idiots. And it was like the woman who had to deal with their shit. Like, boys, am I right? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I felt like it wasn't the necessarily like that. I don't think they were trying to do like the girl power thing at all. But it's just what they did
That's how it came off.
They wrote every dude so stupid. But I don't think that it was just for me personally, there were no women in the script. Mm-hmm. Like, besides the three main characters, you know? So everyone else was written to be funny, which makes them doofuses, or makes them look like they're idiots, you know what I mean?
I feel you.
So, I just think because there was a lack of other women who are also in the script doing stupid shit, it makes you feel like it's all almost like shitting on the male characters, but I just feel like that's just what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it, but
no, that makes perfect sense.
Because think about it, who's another lady character that's not those three? I mean,
there were more. Okay, when it comes to side characters, there were more side characters than just dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the girl had friends. They went to a party. They were interacting with people, but like every interaction where there was a dude, he was just a fucking idiot. And I mean, from just small interactions to main characters, just fucking idiots. You know what I'm saying? And all the women just seem stoic and serious, and like they had to just deal with the guy's stupidity. You know what I mean?
I mean, I personally don't get that, because sometimes I can see that in day-to-day shit. Like, I feel like women are always, like, thinking about shit and, like, being serious. And some dudes, if nothing's going on, they're like, oh, fuck it, just that. Like, kind of, like, just kind of living life or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I kind of see it. I definitely think, because it's a movie, it was played up. Like, it was dialed to 10 because of the movie. But personally, I don't see that. But, you know, I respectfully disagree.
No, of course. From
your perspective on that. But I was gonna mention something. I totally fucking forgot. Two things. One, the boyfriend throws her phone in pudding.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. And
then she goes like, "Oh, that's it. I don't got a phone." And in my head, I'm like,
it was a huge plot point in the movie.
Yeah, like they made it because the whole point is like
they can't get in touch with her.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we need to give her a reason to not have a phone because it's a modern scary movie, so we got to get rid of the phone. Yeah. And then, like, they threw in fucking pudding. I was like, he could have, like, my thing is like throw it in the punch bowl.
Right.
Like that, like 2 feet over, throw it in the punch bowl.
Right.
Like, that, and I would have been like, oh, the phone's fucked. They threw it in pudding. First off, even if it was thrown in the punch bowl, you pull it out and you go, fuck! You at least check, and then you go home and get rice.
Right.
Or you preserve that phone because you're like, at the very least, I can put this in the machine at Walmart and get some money for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't just leave that $1,000 device just sitting there.
Fuck, you threw my phone in pudding or even the punch bowl, but luckily it's 2018 and every fucking phone is water resistant.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, and then the dumb part is, bro, he fucking throws it in the pudding while it's ringing, and it's still fucking ringing in the pudding, so you know it still works. But she just
I didn't think about that. So Kenny's like, oh, my phone's operating. It's still there.
I really think the bitch just didn't want to get her hand dirty. I don't fucking know. It was still fully functional.
Fuck. Okay, then the other thing I want to say.
I like this movie, bro.
I'm about to say I really liked it, but there's just
it was dope. We're just
some
nitpicking.
bullshit. Yeah, definitely nitpicking.
Too good at nitpicking.
So okay, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about, her boyfriend.
Yeah.
So like they were like, he's an okay boyfriend, but at the end he gets drunk and he's an asshole when he's drunk, I guess, is what they were going for, right? And that was it with him.
Exactly.
I thought I was like, oh yeah, this asshole's gonna be getting drunk, walking home. He's gonna be like, oh, like who's this guy? Fuck you, like, and die. But nothing happens with him. He's the only main character in this movie besides the black sheriff dude, who there's no resolution to their character. They just show up and say some shit and then nothing.
The black sheriff dude.
Yeah, because I don't remember his name. I just know he's the sheriff, and I
didn't like his character.
I feel like he was inconsequential. Is that what that word is? He just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He comes up and he goes like, Michael Myers, psh, haha, who cares?
Yeah.
And he walks away.
Was there, said some smug shit, then walked away.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, Will I Am from X-Men Origins.
Exactly.
Like, that's what he looked like with his stupid cowboy hat and shit.
Oh my god.
But the boyfriend, I really didn't like that he showed up. He was an asshole, and then he just fucking disappeared. Like bounced. He just.
But he bounced off the scene,
like
bro.
Nothing. I was just like,
that's what I'm saying, man.
Whatever.
Can one male character not end in tragedy or be a doofus?
He didn't end. That was the point. He just took off.
Well, we left off of this character with ill feelings. You know what I mean?
That's true.
We don't take him seriously anymore because that didn't need to happen. I really liked the boyfriend. What you do with the character that you really like, that's really not consequential to the story. You kill him off because it's more emotional investment.
Yeah, I would have been emotionally invested.
If they just killed him off. Why did they have to end his character like that?
The whole thing where they went to the dance and they were together and all that, like, to me, it would have been more interesting, right? Mm-hmm. If, right? Dude, I'm fixing the whole fucking movie right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we've already talked about some of this, but...
Call this fucking surgery. Okay,
so... The dance is there, right? They're having a fine time. They don't need to talk about this dumb bullshit with him kissing on another girl, right?
Right.
It can be something where the boyfriend is still there. Mm-hmm. She leaves and she's on the phone with her grandma. Her grandma calls. She's on the phone with her. And she was like, hey, Michael's back and all this shit. And while this conversation's happening, the boyfriend, his other friend, goes like, dude, I'm really drunk right now, but I'm in love with Allison or whatever her name is. He's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like what do you do? You're drunk. Fucking go home, right? So then that character still leaves.
Yeah.
And he gets his kill sequence.
Thank you.
He still goes and dies the same way. We still get that cool shit with Michael Myers and the lights. All that still happens, right?
Yeah.
Allison grabs her boyfriend, leaves the school. The sheriff, or I'm sorry, he's not the sheriff, but that main cop with the doctor, they're there to pick him up to take them to Laurie Strode. They get in the car, the boyfriend and Allison. They go. The sheriff sees Michael.
Right. That's when they
runs him over. The officer and the doctor go out to check Michael. They get killed. Michael gets up. He goes. She's trying to break her way out of the car, right? She breaks out of the car. He goes, and right as she's going, Michael grabs him because he's close at this point. Then the boyfriend comes in, pushes back Michael. The boyfriend gets killed while she's escaping.
Sacrifice.
Yes!
Now we like him even more.
Exactly, bro.
Fucking. Oh my god.
And then that fixes everything. That fixes everything.
Fix,
we still get that cool kill with the lights and shit for the fat dude. The only thing that gets taken away is that Allison doesn't find that the fat dude is killed, and she doesn't. But look, you can argue like, oh, she doesn't have that moment where she's like, oh, my grandma's not crazy. This is Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Because now she gets it later in the car when she's even more scared because we hit him with a fucking car, and the bitch got up.
Or maybe have the fat friend's kill sequence happen well before they leave the dance. So when they leave the dance and they get picked up by the cops, they get radioed in that some fat fuck across town just got killed horrifically by some guy named Michael Myers. Then you get his fucking kill reveal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So you still get somewhat, because I don't think...
I think there's little things you can definitely do
Definitely.
to make that better. Take out that dumbass doctor subplot that they try to shove down your throat.
That shit can... Yeah, that shit's out of here. Trash.
I feel like, dude, that doctor bullshit that I keep harping on takes this down like a letter grade for me.
No, you're bummed out.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it fucking killed me. Like,
I had to call and put you on suicide watch after the movie, man.
like if we're doing this right, on 1 to 5, rate this movie. I'm like, 4. The doctor 3.
Yeah,
like
it
takes
enough.
it down so fucking much for me.
That's fair enough.
It killed. I've never had a movie, and I was telling you this. I've never had a movie like that where one scene almost fucked up the whole movie for me.
Yeah.
But
I second
anyway,
that.
But guys, that was us fixing Halloween 2018.
Fixed Halloween.
That's what I'm gonna name the episode.
Fixing Halloween.
Fixing Halloween 2018. Fuck. Yeah, I think that's a better film. What we just laid out.
Oh,
I mean, we're not rewriting the whole film, but we're just making it better. And I really want to know.
Wait, and one thing that overshadows every critique that we have, one thing that will exponentially improve this movie.
Go ahead.
Bring back Andrew Schultz, you fucks. Bring back Schultzy, baby.
Guys, if y'all don't know, Andrew Schultz is an amazing comedian that we like, who's from the Brilliant Idiots podcast.
Yeah.
He was in Halloween. He filmed for Halloween. His scene got cut from Halloween. But it seemed like he would have fit in perfectly with this cast because everyone's
the style of
funny and kind of chilling out and stuff. But I don't know why they got cut out. I really can't wait for this to come out on DVD,
right?
So I can go in the deleted scenes because I want to see where he was.
I know.
I feel like he's got to be friends with Danny McBride because they're both comedians. So I feel like he's got to be like, "Yo, Danny, can I get my scene, or can we at least put it in the Blu-ray or something?" Because I'll buy the Blu-ray just off that, just if I can get that deleted scene.
He a strong fan base, dude. And he sat down and talked to us about stand-up comedy at a fucking table after a comedy show.
Yeah, man.
I want to get into something, dude.
Go ahead, bro.
I watched a movie called Hereditary. I think I told you about it.
Yeah.
And it was scary, but not in the same way that Insidious is scary. It was more of a psychological thriller, right? Fucked with me. It had me fucking stressed out, okay? So I want to talk to you. I think there's a point where it's fun to add gore to scary movies. It's fun to be gruesome. But there's a certain point where you have the law of diminishing returns, right? Where you venture into too much into one category, and too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. I think there was way too much graphicness, if that's even a word, in the movie Hereditary, to where it brought it back a notch, to where I wasn't like, oh shit, that was scary.
Yeah.
It was like, what sick fuck would think of this? Like, this isn't even pleasurable.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad at the writers for thinking it was cool to put this shit on screen for people to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching something off of that Blood Shows website that me and I used to frequent. It was just really fucked up, and it felt a little unnecessary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to get your take on that, bro. Do you think there's a point where you go, all right, man, it's a bit much?
Yeah, I don't even think you need to show a whole lot of blood in scary movies to make them scary. Like, for example, I know, like, because we just got on talking about Halloween, like, the very first Halloween film was revolutionary for the time. People thought that shit was scary and intense. There's not a drop of blood in that movie.
Yeah.
At all.
The first Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
You don't see the monster.
No blood, no monster, no nothing, and it's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
And I watched Paranormal Activity fairly recently. Me, my girl, and Willie sat down and watched it, and it's still scary.
Yeah.
I dig it. But, like, this Halloween film, right?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Fuck.
There are scenes where you're like, fuck, that's bloody, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, there are other scenes where, like, you get him, like, really fucking up someone, like, stabbing the shit out of them, being brutal as fuck, right? Mm-hmm. Then there are other scenes where in the background, you see him killing someone. Mm-hmm. And you're not there witnessing it.
Right.
But you see that happening, you're like, that's almost like, fuck. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm not seeing that. And it's scarier to think about what is happening than to see it.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it's theater of the mind is scarier than theater of the screen sometimes. So, like, there's a part in the movie where, like, there are parts in the movies where, in this movie where, like, Michael Myers walks up to someone, right? Mm-hmm. Or, like, we find the kill later and they're all bloody and fucked up and all that. Then there's a part later on, or at the beginning, where you see how he killed this guy and he was leaning by the bus and his neck's broken. Yeah. And you can see it. It's gruesome. But there's no blood. Right. You know, and then there are other things where, like, he kills someone and we just kind of, like, see their feet or we see something else. Like,
you just hear the snap of a bone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't always need to be, like ripping someone apart and, like, you don't need to be Saw. Yeah. So but to answer your question, there's definitely a point where, like, yeah, that's gruesome, and yeah, this is scary, or, you know, this kind of get me out the edge of my seat. But there's another point where it's like, oh, fuck, I don't want to see that. Like, why you...
Yeah.
You know? There's definitely a line.
But don't take what I'm saying too much for gospel, man, because a lot of folks are calling this movie like one of the greatest scary movies ever made. And
Hereditary?
Shit like that. Hereditary, yeah. And I think, honestly, came out this year. I think it might be up for an Oscar, I feel like. I don't know. Okay. It's that kind of movie. I think the same way we sat in there and broke down Halloween, I think we should come over. We gotta sit down, watch Hereditary. We're going to have a lot to fucking talk about.
Let's do it before the next episode.
Okay.
And we'll just, like, you know, that'll be like, because that'll be our episode that comes out, like, before Halloween. And we'll be like, hey, because if it is, like, a really badass scary movie, like you're saying, that can be like, hey, guys, this is the scary movie to watch, like, before Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm totally down.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do it, like, a night when I get off of work or something.
Definitely, man.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I got some days to do that.
All right, guys. Well,
fun. Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much for tuning into this episode. Hopefully, if you saw Halloween and you enjoyed it, you can let us know. Dante definitely will. Dante, let us know what you thought of the Halloween movie. But guys, thank you very much. And we have one more Halloween episode coming out. And also, guys, if y'all been invited to Eman's party, definitely show up. Eman's going to be there. I won't be. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to be showing up. Gonna hang out with everyone and shit.
Costume? What's your costume?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna figure it out. I've got a week. So.
Yep. That's time to kill.
Alrighty, guys. But again, thank you very much. Eman, is there anything you want to say before we end out this episode of Break Time?
Yeah, like you said, man. If you got the invite, come to my party. It's kind of a more exclusive thing than my 21st.
We're having some Break Time alumni there as well.
I really want to have every guest that I've ever had, with the exception of Ethan, on the podcast.
Or the other two. The younger kids.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, come to the party, man, and of course, do as Dante's doing.
Did you invite your girl Brooke?
Nah, I was gonna get you to invite Brooke, man.
Oh, okay. Hey, Brooke, show up to the goddamn party.
Oh, Brooke, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Get that ass over here.
Forgot. Damn.
I'm gonna clip that and I'm gonna send that
ass over here. But yeah, man, that's really it. And yeah, keep commenting, man, and buy some shirts.
Buy some shirts. Alrighty, guys. Well, again, thank you very much, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Break Time.
Yeah.